Well, it's what everyone is talking about today. The Razorbacks could have a new basketball coach by this time tomorrow.
Reports say Missouri coach Mike Anderson is close to agreeing to a long-term contract that will put him back on the sidelines at Bud Walton Arena, where he spent 17 years as Nolan Richardson's assistant. Steve Sullivan joins us from our newsroom.
We'll have a new coach. The U of A, though, has yet to schedule a news conference. Have talked to the folks in Missouri. They say he has informed officials there that he is out of there. Contract getting a lot of talk. We're hearing 7 years worth $2.2 million a year. Let's take a look at his coaching resume. 17 years as an assistant coach at Arkansas with they won huge, 390 wins. Head coach at UAB for 4 years, picked up 89 wins. Missouri 5 years, 111 wins. You got to be excited about the fact that he's coached on 18 NCAA tourney teams. And here's a clip to get you excited about Mike Anderson being Arkansas's head coach.
I'm going to win a national championship. I don't know when. I'm going to win one. I'm going to win one. That's just me. That's just my attitude. But you know what's going to happen in the meantime? Some Elite Eights, some Final Fours, some conference championships. That's just me, and that's just my attitude.
I like that attitude. Mike back with Nolan in 1990. Hey, back then he was a pleasure to work with. Just to check, I called the folks in Missouri, and they say he's the easiest coach in Missouri to work with. And that's good news for you, Scott, because you'll be doing a few pregame shows with Mike Anderson.
Yeah.
Much more on the next coach of the Razorbacks at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I had a little vested interest outside of just winning ball games. Thanks very much, Sully.
We're hearing talk of a 7-year deal worth $2.2 million a season. The deal will make him the 7th highest paid coach in the country. His contract at the U of A was approved this morning. He didn't waste any time. There are multiple reports that Mike signed his deal with Arkansas this afternoon in Tulsa. And we expect Mike Anderson to be named the new head coach tomorrow. There'll be a lot of talk tomorrow about Mike's 17 years at Arkansas, but this is what should really excite Hog fans. His head coaching record, 21-13 in his first year at UAB, took the Blazers to the NIT. Year 2, Sweet 16. And that was followed by 2 more NCAA tourney appearances. Spent 5 seasons at Missouri. Got rolling in year 3, 31-7, all the way to the Elite 8. Followed that with back-to-back 23-win seasons. One guy who was absolutely thrilled with the selection, Mr. Wings basketball, Ron Crawford. We caught up with Ron today. He was working with the Wings over at Pulaski Academy. That team includes, just saw him there, one of the top juniors in the country, Archie Goodwin. Ron is excited that the Hogs will now have what he calls a homegrown, true Razorback coaching staff.
Well, when you look at what Mike Anderson's done, the loyalty of the state of Arkansas, T.J. Cleveland, which is his nephew, Birmingham, Alabama, Arkansas Razorback player, Matt Zimmerman, high school coach that's very beloved in the state. And then you got Mike and his family coming. You've got Arkansas connections for the first time in a long time.
And look for Scotty Thurman to stay on the support staff. Mike will have to re-recruit Rodney Clark. Rodney's uncle told the Tulsa World that his nephew is frustrated by the lack of discipline and lack of structure in Fayetteville and is considering playing his senior season somewhere else. Just got a tweet, though, from Marshawn Powell. He says, "I'm back." Who don't want to play from Mike Anderson? So Marshawn Powell, for the time being, unless someone hacked into his Twitter account, is going to play for the Razorbacks next season. The U of A made a hire official at 7:23 with a 2-page press release. We're hearing it's a 7-year deal, $2.2 million a year. He becomes the 7th highest paid coach in college basketball. In the release, Jeff Long calls Mike Anderson one of the outstanding coaches in all of college basketball. This from Mike: "It is a tremendous honor to be named the head basketball coach at the University of Arkansas. I am extremely excited to be part of this special university and Razorback athletics. With the continued passion of all Razorback fans, I am confident we'll have the opportunity to succeed both on and off the court and continue to build on the University of Arkansas's championship tradition." We have posted the complete U of A release at KATV.com.
It's the announcement many Hog fans have been waiting for. Mike Anderson will formally be announced as the new head coach of Hogs basketball team this weekend. Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Heather Crawford.
And I'm Christina Munoz in for Scott Inman. Our newsroom received word from university officials this afternoon. The press conference is set for Saturday morning at 10:30 inside Bud Walton Arena. The introduction is open to the public.
A big introduction indeed, and after several days of speculation and social media flare-ups, the university made it official yesterday. Now Razorback fans can look forward to hearing directly from Coach Anderson as Arkansas's new basketball coach on Saturday.
Our own Chris Kane is on the Hill with more on our top story tonight. Chris, tell us what the mood has been like up there.
The mood has been full of excitement. Fans are anxiously awaiting the arrival of Anderson. And like you said, the presentation and the introduction of him this coming Saturday here at Bud Walton Arena. I'm joined right now by Arkansas Sports 360's Chris Bond. And Chris, we were talking earlier about how Anderson has been here, was here for 17 years. And this is where he really, made his coaching mark. But in the past 9 years, he's done a lot of great things at UAB in Missouri as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people remember Mike because of the fact that he was part of that national championship staff in 94, the runner-up finish in 95. I think they won 389 games, during Nolan Richardson's tenure. But if that's kind of the only reason you're excited, you've missed out on a lot of what he's done over the last decade. He turned around 2 programs at UAB in Missouri, fastest coach to 100 wins in Missouri history, largest number of total wins in school history in Missouri, been to an Elite 8, a Sweet 16. So, I mean, there are just a lot of things that Mike has done and that he has on his resume that I think if fans will look at that, they'll be really excited about that too.
Hey, since Mike Anderson has been named head coach, he's already been to work. He was seen in Jonesboro today. We got some pictures from ArkansasVarsity.com's Luke Matheson. Jonesboro was flooded today with people talking about how Mike Anderson was in town, talking to the Razorback signees. People were wondering, how would these new recruits welcome him? Well, he's welcoming them. He's going to them to try to get them to still stay committed to the University of Arkansas. We'll have more on that coming up later in sports, but I can tell you it's a great weekend here in Fayetteville. The Diamond Hogs are playing number 2 Vanderbilt, so it's a great deal on Saturday to go to the press conference, and then right after, you can go check out the Diamond Hogs at Baum Stadium.
He was always such a stand-up guy, no-nonsense stand-up guy, funny guy, great memory. He's a great recruiter because he doesn't miss a beat. He's so aware and alert, and he's a people person. Socially, the guy can fit into any situation. I don't care you drop him in Everett, Massachusetts, or you drop him in Oakland, California.
The shoot-up, Pat Bradley on his old coach, the Hogs' new head coach, Mike Anderson. Pat will be in Fayetteville Saturday for what will be a big day for Hog fans. Mike Anderson put the Razorback Air Force to work today. Had some important business to take care of over in Northeast Arkansas. Coach will be back at Fayetteville for a big event on Saturday. Chris Kane has been on the Mike Anderson beat today. He has the latest from Fayetteville.
Since being named head coach at the University of Arkansas, Mike Anderson has wasted no time and has already gotten to work. He was seen in Jonesboro earlier today, and you got to expect he was talking to future Razorback signees, Hunter Mickelson and Kai Madden, 2 guys he's trying to hold on to their commitment to come to the University of Arkansas. After talking with Chris Bond of Arkansas Sports 360, you get the feeling that after these kids watched Anderson's style of play, they'll definitely want to come to the U of A.
Thanks, Chris. We have an update. Hunter Mickelson, after meeting with Coach A tonight, the 6'10" forward decided that he is going to stick with his commitment and play for the Hogs. Hunter is also this week's McDonald's Full Court Awards Player of the Week. This season, Hunter averaged 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 block shots a game. I want to thank McDonald's and the doctors at Arkansas Specialty Orthopedics for supporting this program. Another tweet from a very happy Marshawn Powell. Man, had a great meeting this morning. Shout out to Coach Anderson. Show him better than you can tell him. Mike Anderson will be on the mound Saturday at Baum Stadium. He'll be throwing out the first pitch at the Arkansas Vandy game. Chris Kane joins us now live from Fayetteville. Chris, this is a big series for the Diamond Hogs. That place will be jumping tonight.
It certainly will, Sully. It's going to be jumping all weekend. They're hosting number 2 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt comes into town for their SEC home opening series of the entire season. So this is a big game for fans to come out. But tonight's all about baseball. Tomorrow morning will be all about basketball. The introduction of Mike Anderson, certainly a hot topic as of late. Now, Mike will be introduced at Bud Walton Arena at 10:30 a.m. and we'll be covering that live on KATV, so be sure to tune in for that. With Anderson coming on campus to join Dave Van Horn and Bobby Petrino, Razorback fans that we talked to earlier feel like they have one of the best 1, 2, 3 punches in all of college athletics.
They have a great track record.
Do you think they're all going to have greats here?
I'm hoping.
I heard somebody comparing that not too long ago to back when Lou Holtz, Eddie Sutton, and Norm DeBryan were here. This matches that, maybe even more. Who knows?
Outstanding. Salaries show it too. I think now it puts the university in the top 10, I guess, with paid coaches now. But they're all producing, and at least 2 of the 3 have. And Mike has elsewhere, so don't expect him not to here. So, it's pretty exciting. It makes me very proud to be a Razorback.
Let's get started. Are you ready for the start of the Mike Anderson era? Excitement on the Hill in Fayetteville today as the University of Arkansas officially introduces Mike Anderson as the new head coach of Razorback basketball. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michelle Rupp. Thanks for joining us. Pamela Smith has the night off. Mike Anderson has made his return as Arkansas's basketball coach. He spoke to about 5,000 Razorback fans in Bud Walton Arena today. Steve Sullivan joins us now to tell us what all the coach had to say.
Michelle, it was exciting this morning, I should say. Coach Anderson is glad to be home. This morning he laid out his plan for the future. It includes a lot of hard work and a lot of winning. And Coach Anderson did a great job playing to the crowd today.
I want to thank Dr. Gearhart. I want to thank the Board of Trustees for entrusting Mike Anderson with this opportunity. And trust me, we will get it done. Trust me. No one will outwork Mike Anderson and his staff. No one will outwork Mike Anderson and his staff. I'm sitting here watching the fans. We got this side field. We finna fill all this thing up in here. I want you guys to know I learned from the best. I learned from the best.
Coach Anderson obviously talking about Nolan Richardson, who elected to watch this one from home because he wanted today to be all about Mike.
Very classy. Yep. It's good to see him in a red tie. It's good to see the Razorback over his shoulder.
Yeah, it was like a political rally, but I'd hate to be the guy running against him.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want that job either.
Yeah.
All right, Sully, we'll see you a little bit later in sports. Mike Anderson's return to the Hill has fans obviously excited about the future, his 17-year return. Channel 7's Katharina Yancey is live in the studio. She was around town and wanted to know what people are saying about Anderson's comeback. Hi, Katharina.
Good afternoon, Michelle. Like you mentioned, Mike Anderson spent 17 years at the U of A as assistant coach under Nolan Richardson. In that time, he helped lead the Razorbacks to 3 Final Four appearances, and the team won the 1994 NCAA championship. They finished runner-up the following year. Local fans say they're ready on a strong team again.
He's taken teams to the NCAA 6 times, so hopefully he can take the Razorbacks. He's won like 200 games since he's left Arkansas.
Oh, it's an exciting time. Anderson was part of one of the greatest runs in Razorback history. I cannot wait for him to get back here. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, welcome home, Mike Anderson.
Well, a lot of excitement there. Anderson planned to retire in Missouri, but says getting the call to return was too good to pass up. During a press conference this morning, Anderson said his team is going to play winning basketball. Steve Sullivan will have more details coming up in sports. Live in the studio, Katharina Yancey, Channel 7 News.
Well, obviously, this is the topic of our Facebook question today. We're asking you, what or how high are your hopes for Anderson and the Razorback basketball team? Many of you have already commented, and we want to know what you think. Just log on to Facebook, post your comment. We're going to be airing some of those tonight at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
And there we go. Around 5,000 enthusiastic fans showed up to welcome home Mike Anderson for coach. It was all about 3 things today: being home, the journey, and most importantly, winning.
I'm happy to be back home. This is home. This is home to Mike Anderson. It's great to be a Razorback. It's great to be a Razorback. I'm looking forward to leading the Razorback back to the top. Back to the top. I spent 17 years here. 17 years. My kids were raised here. Many NCAA tournaments. Final Fours. And a national championship. 2002. You guys all know the date, what took place. But the university did what they had to do, and Mike Anderson did what he had to do. And just think about this. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I had to go back home to UAB and be the head coach at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, where my mother could get a chance to see me be a head coach. I'm used to seeing officials having to cover their ears because it's so loud in here. I'm used to winning. How about that? I'm used to winning. And if you ever see me in a fight with a bear, you heard this one here, you better help that damn bear.
I love Mike Anderson. Sounds like just like Nolan Richardson. Chris Kane was in Fayetteville for the Mike Anderson press event / pep rally, and Chris had a chance to visit one of the all-time greats at the University of Arkansas.
Hey, Sully, we're here with former Razorback Todd Day. Todd, whenever you came into today, what was your initial reaction seeing all these fans welcoming Coach Anderson back home?
Oh, man, it felt great. It felt like the old days, just listening to him talk. I told Lee, sitting beside him, made me want to sign another letter of intent. It's going to be fantastic basketball, something that we've been missing, the excitement. It's going to take time. Nothing happens overnight, but, I'm sure that Mike will get the job done.
Now, when he was speaking up there, he talked about winning and filling these seats, something that in the past we're very accustomed to. Do you think his style of basketball can bring both of those back very soon?
Definitely. I think, even when you're rebuilding, the fans pay their money to see exciting basketball, and I think that's exactly what we'll have. We'll have 40 minutes of fast basketball, getting up and down, a lot of scoring, a lot of defense, and something that we're used to seeing.
Mike guarantee that he would work harder than any other person in America. You've seen him before. Is he a hard worker like that?
Yeah, definitely. I remember him spending nights in sleazy motels in Memphis, trying to recruit myself and Ron here, going over the school's budget just to stay there, just keeping our ears. So, he's a tireless worker, and his staff is the same way, and we look forward to big things.
We definitely look forward to big things here at Bud Walton Arena. Mike said he will be the hardest working coach in America and is going to bring back the winning traditions here at the University of Arkansas. In Fayetteville, Chris Kane, Channel. Back to you, Sully.
Thank you, Chris. And following all that press stuff, Mike Anderson put on the jeans. Look at Marshita has him in some cool jeans. Todd, this is how it's done right here. He threw a dart. Unfortunately, the Hog bats were silent today. They lost to Vandy 4-1. An update.
So I'm joined now by Scotty Thurman. And Scotty, when the news was announced, I'm sure you've been talking to Mike about it. What was your initial reaction? What did you guys talk about?
I was just pretty excited. Happy to see him come back home. Like as he said before, he spent 17 years here, and his family was raised here. I've known Coach Anderson. He recruited me here when I was 17. So, we're going on 20 years, and just great to reconnect, and hopefully he can come back and get this thing going the right way.
Now, you guys have spent a lot of time together these past couple of days. You've been out trying to re-recruit some of the kids that have already signed. Can you talk about that process and what you guys were doing?
Just basically trying to get the kids to let us know if they're still interested in coming. Each kid has said yes. They're excited about the possibility of playing his style of play, so we're excited about that because they're the foundation. They're the new kids on the block, and hopefully we can blend them in with these guys.
Now, Mike Anderson left Arkansas and went and had very successful stints at both UAB and Missouri. Will that success continue here with his style of play?
Oh, there's no question. I think we have the type of athlete right now to play that type of style. Of course, it's going to be some bumps in the road. They got to get used to it and get used to the discipline that he instills, but I think it's a no-brainer decision, and I think he's going to do a great job.